Are you prepared for the unexpected challenges that come with aging? Most people assume that passing away after 75 is just a natural part of getting older. But the truth is that the majority of deaths after this age are caused by factors that can be avoided. In this video, we're diving deep into the 5 leading causes of death for seniors, and why understanding them could be the key to adding years of health, independence, and fulfillment to your life. This isn't just another generic health video, it's a chance to take control of your future. By the end of this video, you'll discover how small, consistent changes in your daily habits can drastically reduce your risks of heart disease, falls, respiratory issues, strokes, and cognitive decline. These are the 5 biggest health threats after 75. And knowing how to manage them could mean the difference between struggling in your later years or thriving well into old age. Don't wait for the warning signs to appear. By the time most people realize the risks, it's often too late. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait. You have the power to make decisions today that will protect your health and help you live a longer, stronger, and more independent life. Stick around until the end to learn how you can avoid these health pitfalls and make the changes that will set you up for a brighter, healthier future. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Number 1, heart disease. Heart disease is and has been for years the silent killer among those over 75. It's the leading cause of death. Yet so many of us don't even realize how much control we have over it. We often feel powerless against the natural process of aging. But what if I told you that you hold the reins? You see, the heart, just like any other muscle in the body, requires care and attention to remain strong. Without it, that muscle starts to weaken slowly but surely over the years. And when you don't listen to your body and fail to nurture it, that's when the consequences become irreversible. The sad truth is that heart disease sneaks up on us. The early warning signs are often subtle. So subtle that we tend to brush them off as a mere part of getting older. Slowing down, feeling tired after a little bit of activity, or getting winded faster than we used to might seem like ordinary signs of aging, but in reality, they could be signs that your heart isn't as strong as it once was. These signs are your body's way of whispering to you, pleading for attention before the damage is done. And it's heartbreaking to know that many people don't heed the warning until it's too late. Let's talk about high blood pressure, one of the most dangerous contributors to heart disease. Over time, high blood pressure acts like an invisible enemy, slowly and steadily wearing down your arteries. It forces your heart to pump harder, harder than it should have to, all while you're blissfully unaware. There's no pain, no noticeable symptoms. You won't feel the strain until one day a heart attack or stroke hits you like a freight train, leaving you wondering, how did I get here? It's the sort of thing you never want to experience. But it happens all too often to those who thought they were perfectly fine just a few days before. I can't help but feel frustrated when I think of the number of people who could have avoided these tragedies if only they had taken the time to pay attention to their body's subtle clues. And then there's the food we put into our bodies. I've seen it time and time again. Decades of poor diet choices adding up. Years of consuming processed foods, unhealthy fats, and too much salt can take a severe toll on our arteries, clogging them and reducing circulation. We all know the saying, "You are what you eat." But do we truly grasp the consequences? This isn't just about avoiding the bad foods. It's about making sure that we fill our plates with the right kind of fuel. Our hearts need healthy nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, and healthy fats to function properly. When those vital nutrients are missing, the damage to our hearts accelerates far faster than we realize. It breaks my heart to think of the damage done by years of neglecting what we put into our bodies. And I wish more people understood the urgency of healthy eating before it's too late. A lack of movement is another silent killer. The heart wasn't made to stay still. But that's what happens when we stop moving. As we get older, it's all too easy to become sedentary, thinking that because our bodies have changed, we no longer need to move. But the truth is, without movement, our circulation slows down, our muscles weaken, and our hearts lose the strength they need to keep pumping efficiently. It's not about running marathons or putting yourself through intense workouts. It's about staying active in whatever way you can, whether it's walking, stretching, or doing simple chair exercises. Every little bit of movement counts. It pains me to think of all the people who could dramatically reduce their risk of heart disease by simply moving more, even in the smallest of ways. I think the biggest mistake people make is thinking that heart disease is something that just happens to us as we age, that it's simply a matter of fate or bad luck. We hear stories about relatives or friends who had heart problems, and we convince ourselves that we're destined to face the same fate. But the truth is, it's the little things we do every single day that make the biggest impact. The food we choose to eat, how much we move, how we manage our stress. These are the things that determine whether our hearts stay strong or begin to fail us. It's not just about fate. It's about making small, consistent choices every day. These choices are the key to a long, healthy life, and it's never too late to start. But it starts with you, and it starts now. Number 2, falls and injuries. Falls and injuries. Such an insidious and terrifying risk that most people only truly recognize when it's far too late. The truth is, one of the most significant threats to our health after the age of 75 isn't a disease or a chronic condition. It's the unexpected, devastating reality of a fall. It can happen so quickly, so unexpectedly, like a thief in the night, stealing not just your ability to move freely, but also your independence and peace of mind. A single misstep, a brief moment of dizziness, a floor that's a little too slippery. It can all lead to a chain of events that completely changes everything in an instant. Suddenly, you're looking at a fractured hip, a head injury, or even something that seems minor at first, a bruise or a sprain that turns into a much more serious, life-threatening issue. It's enough to send chills down your spine. And here's the kicker, the terrifying thing that so many of us don't realize. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury-related deaths in older adults. I can't stress that enough. Every year, millions of seniors end up in the emergency room because of falls. And for many, that single fall becomes a point of no return. It's the beginning of a slow decline that they may never fully recover from. I wish more people truly understood how severe this is. A hip fracture, for example, it's not just a bump or bruise. It means you're likely going to be confined to a bed for months with a very real possibility of losing your independence, facing infections or dealing with endless complications that seem to pop up at every turn. Yet, shockingly, so many people don't take fall prevention seriously until it's too late, and they've either experienced a fall themselves or watched a loved one suffer from its effects. That's when the wake-up call comes, but by then, it may be too late to undo the damage. It breaks my heart to think about how many people ignore the warning signs. It's as if we've all become so used to life moving at full speed that we forget the subtle changes that come with aging, the ones that silently chip away at our strength and stability. We don't notice that our balance is slipping, that our muscles aren't as strong as they used to be, or that our reaction time has slowed down. It happens gradually, so we don't feel it until one day we reach for something and bam, we lose our balance and fall. And when we fall, the body doesn't bounce back the way it once did. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The hardest part is that the body over time just doesn't recover like it used to. What might have once been a tiny stumble turns into a painful, long-lasting injury that can completely change the course of your life. And the worst part? Fear. The fear of falling becomes its trap. It's like a vicious cycle where fear of movement makes us move even less. And when we stop moving, our muscles grow weaker. And that's when the falls become even more frequent. It's a tragedy because the fear itself can cause more falls. The more you retreat, the more you lose that strength, and the more likely it becomes that the fall will happen again. I can't even imagine the kind of emotional toll that takes on someone. Sitting in your own home, feeling trapped in a body that's failing you, not daring to walk, to stretch, to live. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. I believe with all my heart that falls are not inevitable. Yes, they're scary, but there are simple yet incredibly powerful things you can do to reduce your risk dramatically. And it starts with taking control of your body again. Strengthening your legs, your core, and your balance might feel challenging at first, but it's such a game changer. Those small adjustments you make in your home, like putting in brighter lighting, using slip-proof rugs, or installing sturdy handrails, can mean the difference between staying independent and active, or facing the crushing reality of a life-changing injury. These are changes worth making. They matter. They do. And let's not forget another silent killer, medications. So many seniors unknowingly take medications that cause dizziness, drowsiness, or affect their blood pressure, making falls even more likely. It's one of the most overlooked factors in fall prevention. I know how easy it is to think of medication as something that just helps you get through the day, but I urge you, please talk to your doctor. Make sure that your medications aren't working against you. Be mindful of how they affect your balance. It could be the difference between staying steady on your feet or being caught off guard by that first stumble. Falling isn't just about tripping over something or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's about staying strong, staying aware, and staying proactive. It's about taking responsibility for your health and taking small steps today that will protect your future. After the age of 75, a single fall could change everything. And I truly believe that by taking the right precautions now, by strengthening our bodies, adjusting our homes, and being vigilant about our health, we can not only prevent those falls, but we can continue to live with the independence, joy, and mobility we deserve for many years to come. Number 3, respiratory diseases. Breathing, something so essential to life, is often taken for granted until we begin to feel that desperate struggle for air. The simple act of taking a breath can feel like a battle as we grow older. As we age, our lungs, once resilient and efficient, gradually lose their vitality. What was once effortless now requires conscious effort, and something as seemingly minor as a cough or shortness of breath can quickly spiral into something much more serious. It's heartbreaking to think that something as fundamental as breathing can become a source of constant worry as time passes. What might start as a small inconvenience can eventually lead to chronic conditions, painful infections, and even hospitalization. It's a silent creeping issue that we often ignore, hoping it will go away on its own until it doesn't. After the age of 75, respiratory diseases are among the leading causes of death. It's not that they are unavoidable or even necessarily inevitable, but far too many of us ignore the warning signs until it is too late. One of the most insidious threats to our health in later years is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, which includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. These conditions, so often overlooked, lead to inflamed airways that tighten over time, making it harder and harder to catch a breath. The physical struggle to breathe, which can feel like you're suffocating in slow motion, becomes an unfortunate reality for far too many people. And yet many seniors brush off symptoms such as frequent coughing, wheezing, or that nagging shortness of breath, thinking that it's just part of the natural aging process. But in truth, these are all warning signals from your body telling you it's time to pay attention. Then there's pneumonia, a silent killer that many people dismiss as just another cold or infection. But for those over 75, pneumonia is far more dangerous than most realize. What may seem like mild chest congestion can quickly escalate into a life-threatening infection. The reality is that our immune systems weaken with age, making us far more vulnerable to infections. For too many older adults, pneumonia leads to hospitalization, and in far too many cases, it causes a rapid decline in health from which some never fully recover. It's a terrifying thought, one that many people don't want to confront. But it's vital to understand how high the stakes truly are. Poor air quality is another invisible enemy. The environmental pollutants we're exposed to every day, from dust, pollution, and secondhand smoke to mold and pet dander, accumulate in our lungs over the years, causing significant damage. Many of us may not even realize that the air we breathe at home can be just as harmful. And without taking steps to improve air quality, breathing problems can worsen without us even knowing. It's easy to feel as if we have no control over the air around us, but simple changes can make a world of difference. Installing air purifiers, avoiding smoke, and making small adjustments to reduce indoor pollutants can protect your lungs in ways you may never have imagined. For those who already have conditions like asthma or COPD, these environmental irritants can feel like a cruel, never-ending assault on the lungs. It's a constant reminder that our respiratory systems need protection, not only from the outside world, but from the things we often overlook inside our own homes. But there's hope. Making a conscious effort to protect your lungs from these irritants can have a profound impact on your overall lung health. It's not about avoiding everything, but about taking simple, deliberate actions that can help keep your lungs strong for as long as possible. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked ways to maintain lung health is to stay active. The simple act of moving your body is an incredible gift to your lungs. Like any other part of the body, your lungs need exercise to stay in good working order. When you move, your lungs expand fully, helping to clear out any buildup and keep the airways open. On the flip side, sitting still for long periods can weaken your lung function, making you more susceptible to infections and respiratory complications over time. Even light activities like walking, stretching, or light yoga can make a world of difference. These small but impactful choices could mean the difference between a life filled with breathless struggle and one with the freedom to live fully. Vaccination is another simple but essential step to protect your lungs. Far too often, older adults overlook the importance of vaccines for conditions like pneumonia and the flu. They think of it as something trivial, a small inconvenience. But in reality, these vaccines can be the difference between life and death. It's not just about avoiding a cold, it's about protecting yourself from a serious infection that could land you in the hospital or worse, cause long-term damage to your health. The power of preventative care cannot be overstated. Taking that small step to stay up to date on vaccines could save you from an unimaginable health crisis. Breathing is something we shouldn't take for granted, but for so many people over the age of 75, it becomes a daily struggle. It's not because it has to be this way, but because we sometimes neglect the signals our body is sending us until it's too late. The truth is, you have the power to protect and strengthen your lungs if you act now. Taking care of your lungs, keeping them strong, and protecting them from infection is one of the most important things you can do for your long-term health and independence. The more you nurture your lungs, the more you will protect your ability to live fully, breathe freely, and enjoy the life that you've worked so hard to build. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action today for the sake of your future, your health, and your happiness. Number 4, stroke. A stroke. Just the thought of it sends chills down my spine. It can strike without warning in a matter of seconds, turning your entire world upside down. One moment, life is moving along as usual, and in the next, you could be facing a fate that changes everything you've ever known. It's not just another health scare. It's one of the leading causes of death after the age of 75. But here's the gut-wrenching truth. Far too many people don't realize how much control they have over preventing this life-altering event. It's a terrifying reality, yet the good news is that many of the early warning signs and risk factors are within your grasp. The terrifying part, a stroke doesn't often offer a second chance. Once it happens, the damage is frequently irreversible. And while we may feel helpless in the face of such an event, the reality is far more empowering than we might think. Up to 80% of strokes are preventable. Yes, you read that right, 80%. That means you right now have the power to make choices today that could help you maintain your independence and protect your future. Doesn't that thought alone ignite a sense of urgency within you? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. A stroke occurs when the blood supply to the brain is suddenly blocked or when a blood vessel bursts open. In mere minutes, brain cells begin to die, an unforgiving process that leaves no room for mistakes. The longer the brain is deprived of oxygen, the more devastating the consequences. It's heart-wrenching to think about how some strokes might only cause temporary confusion or slight weakness, but others leave people unable to speak, paralyzed, or even worse, entirely dependent on others for the rest of their lives. And then, tragically, some strokes end in death, leaving families forever changed, asking, what if? What breaks my heart is that one of the biggest risk factors, high blood pressure, often goes unnoticed. It silently chips away at your health over time. It's an invisible force, exerting too much pressure on your arteries, weakening them, and making them more vulnerable to rupture or blockage. And just like heart disease, it doesn't always show symptoms, so it silently waits in the shadows. It's a ticking time bomb that so many people aren't even aware of until it's too late. And then there's atrial fibrillation, AIB. An irregular heartbeat that for many seniors goes undiagnosed. This silent culprit can lead to blood clots, which if they travel to the brain can cause a stroke in the blink of an eye. Here's the silver lining though. A simple checkup can detect these issues early on. It can be a lifesaver. Knowing about these conditions and addressing them early can drastically lower your stroke risk. And it doesn't stop there. Our choices in life, from the food we eat to how much we move, play a huge role in reducing stroke risk. It's not just about avoiding bad foods. It's about actively making decisions that protect your body. Too much salt, too many processed foods, and unhealthy fats will inevitably increase the likelihood of a stroke. And let's not forget that a sedentary lifestyle can thicken your blood and slow down circulation, making it that much harder for your body to stay healthy. But here's where the real power lies. You have control. By staying active, eating nutrient-rich foods, and maintaining healthy blood pressure, you can reduce your risk significantly. It doesn't have to be a drastic overhaul of your life. Small changes can have an enormous impact. Imagine adding a few leafy greens to your meals, cutting back on sodium, and simply drinking more water. These seemingly simple steps could dramatically reduce your risk of suffering from a stroke. One thing that many people overlook is the importance of recognizing many strokes, or TAS, transient ischemic attacks. These brief episodes of confusion or loss of vision might seem like they come and go without much consequence, but let me tell you, they shouldn't be ignored. I can't stress enough how crucial it is to seek medical attention immediately. These small warning signs could be the very key to preventing a full-blown stroke and avoiding the unimaginable consequences that come with it. The most important lesson here is simple. You hold the power. You can reduce your risk of stroke by checking your blood pressure regularly, committing to a heart-healthy diet, staying active, and being vigilant about the early warning signs. You can avoid the paralyzing impact of a stroke. Your choices today shape the life you live tomorrow, and you have the strength and ability to stay independent, healthy, and fully in control of your future. Don't wait until it's too late. Start taking action now. Your future self will thank you. Number 5. Cognitive decline and related complications. One of the most heart-wrenching aspects of growing older is the slow, insidious erosion of memory, reason, and independence. Cognitive decline doesn't strike all at once. No, it comes in softly, almost imperceptibly, with small changes that at first seem trivial, like forgetting a name or misplacing your keys. At the time, they feel like nothing more than a normal part of aging. But as the years pass, those little lapses grow into something much more terrifying, something we cannot ignore. The ability to manage even the simplest daily tasks like remembering to turn off the stove, recognizing familiar faces, or making a sound decision begins to slip away. For many, this gradual change isn't just a nuisance. It becomes a life or a death matter. Dementia and Alzheimer's disease, those cruel thieves of the mind, don't only rob you of your memories, they threaten your very ability to care for yourself. And when cognitive function diminishes, so does your capacity to safeguard your health. For those suffering from cognitive decline, the world becomes a much more dangerous place. Seemingly harmless tasks like remembering to take medication or eating enough nutritious food can become overwhelming struggles. Many seniors with dementia forget the vital act of drinking enough water, a seemingly simple necessity that, when ignored, can lead to life-threatening dehydration. Others may neglect their nutritional needs, eating too little or overeating, which sets the stage for a cascade of health problems from malnutrition to dangerous weight gain. But perhaps the most tragic consequence of cognitive decline is the risk of accidents. Simple oversights like leaving the door unlocked at night or wandering into unsafe conditions can have deadly consequences. It's heartbreaking to imagine how quickly someone's world can become a minefield of danger. All because their mind no longer works the way it once did. And for so many seniors, this ultimately leads to a loss that feels impossible to bear. The loss of independence. What was once a cherished freedom, the ability to live alone, navigate the world confidently, and take care of oneself, is ripped away. Without the proper care and support, this spiral can become uncontrollable, leading to even faster deterioration of both mind and body. The scariest part is that many don't even recognize the signs of cognitive decline until it's already too late. When the damage has progressed far beyond what could have been prevented, we often dismiss early warning signs, forgetting names, struggling to follow conversations, or misplacing important items as part of the inevitable process of aging. But those are the red flags that our brains are sending up to warn us. Those subtle lapses are not normal aging. They are the signals of something more insidious taking root in our minds. The sooner we acknowledge these signs, the sooner we can act to slow down the progression and give ourselves the best chance of preserving our sharpness, clarity, and independence for as long as possible. One of the most powerful ways to safeguard your brain: keep it active. Just like the muscles in your body, the brain requires exercise to stay strong and resilient. Engaging in activities like reading, solving puzzles, learning new skills, or having stimulating conversations can help keep your brain sharp, active, and fully engaged. It's like a workout for your mind, keeping it nimble and less prone to the ravages of cognitive decline. And let's not overlook one of the most important aspects of brain health: physical exercise. Physical movement boosts blood flow to the brain, providing it with the oxygen and nutrients it needs to stay healthy and function optimally. I've seen firsthand how even simple daily movement can improve mental clarity, helping people stay sharp well into their later years. Another often overlooked but crucial aspect of brain health is social connection. Loneliness and isolation are two of the greatest accelerators of cognitive decline. When you're isolated, your mind can start to wither. But when you maintain regular social interactions, whether it's meeting with friends, chatting with loved ones, or staying involved in a community, you're giving your brain a lifeline. The more you challenge it with new experiences, meaningful conversations, and social engagement, the more resilient and stronger it becomes. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The diet also plays a pivotal role in maintaining a healthy brain. What you put into your body directly affects how well your brain functions. Omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and essential vitamins found in foods like leafy greens, berries, and nuts are crucial to protecting against cognitive decline. On the other hand, diets high in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats increase inflammation in the brain, making it more susceptible to conditions like dementia. A healthy brain is deeply intertwined with a healthy body. It's not just about avoiding cognitive decline, it's about living life to its fullest. You can't control everything about aging, but by making the right choices today, staying mentally active, moving your body regularly, engaging socially, and nourishing your body with the right foods, you can delay the inevitable and enjoy your later years with clarity and vigor. Losing cognitive function doesn't have to be a foregone conclusion of aging. By taking small proactive steps now, you can dramatically reduce your risk. Just like any other part of your body, your brain needs care and attention to stay strong. The better you treat it now, the better it will serve you in the years to come. Final thoughts. As we reflect on everything we've discussed, the dangers of heart disease, the risks of falls, respiratory issues, strokes, and cognitive decline, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. These are the causes of death that we fear most after the age of 75. But here's something essential you must remember. They are not inevitable. They don't have to define your future. Most people are unaware of how much control they truly have over their health. And by the time they realize it, the damage is already done. But here's the beautiful truth. The power is in your hands. Small, consistent actions today can add years of strength, mental clarity, and independence to your life. No one wants to think about aging, but ignoring these risks doesn't make them disappear. The good news is that awareness is power. By recognizing the signs, taking preventive action, and prioritizing your health, you don't have to fear the future. You can embrace it with strength, vitality, and joy. Think about your daily habits. What's one small change you could make today? Maybe it's choosing healthier foods, moving your body more, getting regular checkups, or staying connected with loved ones. Whatever it is, remember this. You don't need to overhaul your life all at once. Even taking one small step in the right direction can set you on a path to better health and a longer, more fulfilling life. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want to ask you, what have you learned so far? Aging is inevitable, but how we navigate it is completely in our hands. The small intentional choices we make today have the power to shape our tomorrow. From staying mentally active, exercising, staying socially engaged to eating the right foods, every step we take matters. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're committed to practicing in your own life? Share it with us in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please leave your comment, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content to help you live your best, healthiest life as you age. Take action today for yourself, for your future. Thank you for watching.